We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, coming at you in Vilcabamba, Ecuador. We've got Dave the Raw Food Truck Driver here.
Greetings everyone again, greetings.
Right on.
Yeah.
Speak loud if you can.
Okay, I shall.
Okay.
Alright.
So Dave, I wanted to know if we can talk to you about sex and raw foods.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, we can talk about sex and raw foods, and I'm going to assume that children are not watching this, or the adults are watching it first and can turn it off if you so choose. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Maybe
right.
I could put a disclaimer at the beginning, rated PG-13.
Yeah, there you go. Right on.
Cool.
Right on.
So my question, I guess, is now that you've gone raw, I was wondering maybe if you can talk a little bit about before and after, what it was like
Yeah.
sexually.
All right. I'll be very upfront with you guys and open and honest. Before I say this, I just want to say that this is... How do I say this? Look, I'll just get into it, and it just is what it is. And yeah, my partners can attest to this. I now am in a beautiful relationship with a woman, and
Wow.
it's very good. But I have to tell you, at 430 pounds, there was very little, if any, sex, and that would include masturbation, because I was a truck driver, and if I wasn't around and I felt like I needed to release. But since I've gone raw and really lost all this weight, something happened. I took a tantric course here at the Raw Food World Conference, and I didn't even realize apparently I'm practicing it. But one of the beautiful things for me as a man is that a lot of things shifted for me about sex in terms of just looking for the ultimate orgasm, in terms of what turned me on. It used to be that when I would look at a woman and meet a woman, and this was all of my life really, since I had a sex drive around 13, was how do I get into her pants? How long do I want to stay there? And when do I want to leave? Because all these women want some kind of relationship that I could not relate to. And that's really how I viewed sex throughout my life. In the last, really, I want to say 2.5 years, 3 years. It wasn't in the beginning. In the beginning, I was shifting and learning and losing this weight, and things were happening to me. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, as I moved forward into the raw food movement and really started cleaning out my body and starting to realize that there were other things around me. Now, when I look at a woman, what I see is beauty and goddess, and that really is. And I see it literally in all women. I really, truly do. I don't know how to explain it. It's not a lustful thing. It's not a... yeah, I don't think of sex every 7 to 10 seconds like the studies show that males do. I used to, but I don't anymore. The other thing is my focus has gone toward really how much pleasure can I bring my partner, my lover. And I mean, I don't want to sound like some kind of porno dude, because it's not what it's about at all, but literally I will stay hard and have sex for up to 10 hours with my partner. And I've had several lovers, and now I'm in a relationship, but I have yet to have one lover I haven't been with a lover that's been 100% raw until just recently, and she's fairly new to it. So I've noticed that all my lovers need to stop and take a break. So we take a break and then we go again. Yeah, I just, it is what it is, okay? It's what raw food's done for me. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you yeah, man, my penis grew 4 inches when I went raw. If it was true, every male would be lined up to do this for the wrong reasons. But you know what? If it brought them into raw, organic, vegan, it would be a wonderful thing. But what I am talking about is actually having a sex drive again, and then actually focusing on being in love with a woman and actually seeing her in joy and having multiple orgasms and being involved in that depth of lovemaking. It's not anything I've ever experienced before. And sometimes I release at the end with an orgasm, and sometimes I don't. It's what I choose to do. And I've never even heard of this before. Matt, you mentioned it, a little bit of it in your book, one of your books.
Right, so you've been practicing Tantra all this time and...
not knowing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I just release when I choose to release. And yet the sex is just as incredible for me. And I believe for my partners, because they always tell me it is. So, you know, a little bit, I'm really stepping out the edge here, guys. It really is not about, you know, some kind of thing with being some kind of stud or something like that. It has nothing to do with it.
I can attest to that.
Right on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You go raw, you go organic, and you go vegan, and you throw these 3 things into that mix, and just try it for 6 months and make that change, and then come back and tell us if it's not the best time of your life. Because I have coached so many people with losing weight, reversing diabetes. Right now I'm working with a beautiful gal who has a paralyzed intestinal tract. It just goes on and on and on. And I get so many people that come back to me, and what they say is, they say, Dave, they say, I want to go back to raw. I experienced it for a while, but I slipped, and now I'm not raw, and I don't know how it happened, or it happened so quickly, it was like a blink of an eye. I ask everyone this question. If you've been raw in the past, I have never, ever, ever had a different answer. I ask them, I want you to just think back, and I need you to be very honest with yourself and with me. And that is, what was truly the best time of your life? When was the best, most healthiest, radiant? When were you feeling the best? Every single time, the answer has been when I was 100% raw or 90% raw. Every time, every time. And there's 3 ingredients to this I just keep coming back to that you can't get around. Okay, it's raw, it's organic because you want the pesticides out of your system, and it's vegan. Just try it. That's all we're saying. I'm not even saying everybody in the world is going to convert to this. I don't see that happening. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the best diet in the world, because I don't say those things. What I'll tell you is it works best for me. But I just throw it out there to you. Try it. If you have a lover and the spark's gone and you've been together for 8 to 10 years, try this. See what happens. Yeah. Wow, you really surprised me with this, man. I was not ready for this question, guys.
So if you become 100% raw, vegan, and organic, you can be a Superman too. Yep.
Yes, without even realizing it's happening, I might add.
When you become cleaner, it definitely, there's something out there that changes the psyche of the male to where it turns from like women look like a piece of meat to... Yeah, absolutely. Same thing happened to me.
Yeah, and you don't think of sex every time you see a woman and every 7 seconds and all that, right?
Right.
See, I just have a theory about this, and I'll throw out my theory to you guys. I believe that those studies are not normal. It's like when a virus comes into a body, and then let's say the virus has been there for 200 years, and then somebody suddenly looks at it. So now they're going to say, oh, this is a normal part of what's going on. This is actually, they don't recognize it as a virus. They would see it as something normal, a part of the body. What I'm trying to communicate to people is I believe that it is some kind of a virus, and that this has simply happened throughout the ages. And so now when they do these studies, everybody around the world lives like this, thinks like this, it's coming out of us. But I don't believe it's normal. I believe that it's something that has been skewed throughout the centuries, from probably men controlling women and a little bit of women controlling men through sex, but there's a thing there, and I believe it's off. I believe it's off in the human race, and this is part of it.
Absolutely. Really. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, people are just bogged down with sex and advertising and pornography, free on the internet, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And we're toxified.
Yeah, and we need to detox, and we need to detox from that area of our life too. I saw a really, really wonderful clip where there were all these men on it, and they were apologizing to women on behalf of the ages of what's happened throughout the past centuries.
Wow.
I watched it. I cried like a baby for the entire time, and I have a desire. I heard they're making another one, and I'm going to try and ask them to be on it if I can get a hold of these people. Yeah.
Let's talk about how you've been crying, kind of here and there.
God, please. Yeah. Okay.
When was that before you went raw? When was the last time you cried before you went raw?
I'm going to guesstimate 25 to 30 years.
25 to 30 years was the last time you cried, and now, like,
yeah.
How often are you crying, do you think?
Well, I'm still struggling with it's okay for men to cry. It's actually good and it's healthy. But I'm learning this, and please understand that, as a truck driver, I was in the military, I was in a culture where men simply do not cry. And the worst thing you could do as a man is cry. So I'm working through that. But when I'm by myself and not in public, I actually cry quite a bit. And there are times when I catch myself and I try to stop myself from crying, and then I have to say, this is supposed to happen. It's an emotional release, and it's okay. And it does not demasculate me. Well, psychologically, I still struggle with that. I got to be honest with you. After 3.5 years, I still do struggle with it. But I know that that's another part of our society that is skewed. This whole John Wayne image of you're going to hold the gun up, fire one round, and end a war. You know what I'm saying? It's just not there. It never happened. That's Hollywood.
Right. I could edit this portion out if this isn't okay. But I mean, I've seen Dave get into like emotional talks all the time, and I see him catch himself about to cry every once in a while.
Yeah. You don't have to. Okay. It is what it is. But I catch myself, and then actually I have to struggle to not cry. Yeah. Right. And go ahead. Yeah.
No.
Well, Beauty, Elegance, and Grace, Trace, my business partner, and she's also really kind of a spiritual counselor for me, if you will. But she tells me even then I should just let it go and cry. I just have a hard time doing it in front of males more than females, because women cry so much easier and it's accepted in our culture. So, but I recognize and realize that this is something that I'm working through, and probably when I am totally healed of this and I recognize it as a pain body and something that I need to be healed of, I will probably in my talks be crying once or twice and just babbling like a buffoon and totally embarrassed afterwards. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
All right. So me and Dave you're staying here for an extra week after the conference.
Yes, just to hang out with you and David Ranishek and Gila and party and do this. This is fun. This is living life to its fullest, people.
And we're going to be coming at you with videos all week long, right, Dave?
Yeah, right on. We will do a couple videos a day for you. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I am honored. It's truly my honor and privilege. Again, and I know I say it to honor them, but it really is, I speak the truth here. If you ever get a chance to be in Mater Angela's presence, just come and be and hang with them and watch how they live their lives. They are incredible people. Blessings.
Thanks, David.
There you go. Yeah. Right on.
Right on. So who do we got there?
Dave, the Raw Food Trucker.
And Matt Monarch. And we'll see you again tomorrow at the Raw Food World TV show.
Right on. That's the coolest thing that you do. That's your little trademark, that little wave coming out afterwards.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.